Fine, and that is the reason behind commercial use of oxytocin is banned. Only medical use is permitted. 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 Mamta, already we have mentioned this. What you are talking about, this is already been mentioned here. That we are not considering. Yes. Please, what you are asking about is already mentioned here. Uterine contraction during childbirth. Milk releasing hormone. After the birth of the baby, mother start lactating, right? So this lactation is milk releasing tendency, and it is because of the oxytocin. Means the female girl children, they are trapped in sexual racket for the sexual activities, which is a kind of crime. So the female their girl children are injected by the chemical oxytocin just for the attainment of the sexual activities, or just for the the premature sexual attainment is induced by the use of these chemicals. This chemical what we are talking about. Yeah. Stop bleeding. Yes. Yeah, this is also. See, normally what happened when we talk about, you heard about the labor pain. Labor pain. Labor pain is what? Labor pain is because of the natural oxytocin, and the labor pain is the indication of the childbirth. So if the female is able to attain this labor pain naturally, so it's well and good. Otherwise, technically, the female are injected with artificial oxytocin. That comes under the medical uses, which is permitted. And the intention of this oxytocin is uterine contraction. Means the intention of this, the injection of the oxytocin is to induce labor pain artificially. And the induction of labor pain artificially means what? Uterine contraction to promote the uterine contraction to ensure the the proper release of the child from the mother's uterus. Fine. As well as in this process, probably the female is going to bleed. So that injection is also required to stop bleeding. So this is the medical application of oxytocin. And for this medical application, it is not banned. It is going on. But rest of the discussion what we are talking about, it is harmful for the human. That's why for the rest of the other aspect, commercial use of oxytocin is banned. I hope you understand. Next is ADH, anti-diuretic hormone. Vasopressin. Fine. See, This first is the oxytocin, second is the ADH, vasopressin. Vasopressin. And this controls regulate water in urine as per body demand. As per body demand. Like see, in summer you feel less urination. More water is stored in body to protect against dehydration. In winter, more urination. Yes, alcohol intake, more urination. So these situations are handled by vasopressin as per the requirement of the body. As per the requirement of the body, these situations are going to be controlled by vasopressin. Is the ADH, anti-diuretic hormone. It's a natural. It's a natural. Right? Okay. Fine. Why in alcohol intake? In alcohol, ADH stops working temporarily. So water will not be regulated. No water regulation. No water regulation. No water regulation. No water regulation. And that is the reason behind you feel like more urination. After alcohol intake, we feel like frequent urination. Frequent urination. And the first symptom of the dehydration, you feel like dryness on the lips. Dryness on the lips. That is the first condition of the dehydration after alcohol intake. So the excess amount of the water start moving outside the body after this alcohol intake, and we feel like thirst, we feel like dehydration, and that dehydration is indicated by the thirst, or the dehydration is indicated by the dryness on the lips. Because the more and more amount of the water is coming outside, because it is not being regulated by ADH. If the ADH is active, so this ADH is going to regulate the amount of water as per the body requirement. But this ADH stops working temporarily for the time being, so it will not regulate the amount of the water what is coming along in the urine. Rather, the much more amount of the water will move outside without any regulation, and we feel like dehydration after alcohol intake. Fine. What is the solution of the dehydration during alcohol consumption? To stop consuming alcohol is the only. Stop consuming alcohol. Jitin? Stop consuming alcohol. And if you are not able to accept my answer, so then please let me know. Then I will go for the other option. If you are not able to accept the solution, stop taking alcohol, then ask me. Then I will let you know the second option. Yes, Jitin. Waiting for your response. Are you ready to stop alcohol intake as a solution? He is not replying. Probably he is not ready to accept. Is there any other solution other than the stopping alcohol? So that take little amount of the alcohol, right? Don't take neat. Take in the water. Don't mix in the soda. Even after the urination, you should go for the water intake. Simple. खूब पानी पियो. No, he will not, sir. Wow. Mamta is quite confident about the Jitin. He will not, sir. Give the second option. The second option is after urine, every time after the urine discharge, you should go for the. See, the vasopressin is the technical name of this ADH hormone. Vasopressin is the technical name of this ADH hormone. It's a technical name of the ADH hormone, right? So the second option is, every time after the urine release, you should go for water intake, and just to compensate the amount of the water which already you have lost in the urine. That is the only way. If you are not ready to accept the first solution, so just go for the second solution. Pani खूब पियो, just to avoid dehydration. Yes, right. So let me continue. So here, Jack. So why is there recommendation that why is the recommendation that the taking alcohol once in a while is good for the health? Does it? The second solution can be followed easily. Okay, fine. We'll go for the second solution. Anyway, so why is there recommendation that the taking alcohol once in a while is good for the health? Does it? It not cause more damage than good. Right. Listen, obviously, I don't want to make any comment on, because I am on camera and this is the recorded lecture. But even I'm telling you, I am just advising. It's a medical advice. So, and this medical advice, it says that if you're going to take a little amount of alcohol, means it's a 15 to 20 ml. It's a 15 to 20 ml. If you're going to have alcohol, not in one shot, rather than if you are going to take in a mild sip condition, in mild sip phase, means if you just sip it at least for 15-20 minutes. So if you are going to do like this, so definitely it is going to support your, it is going to support you, it is going to, you know, it is going to support your enzymatic action, means it will facilitate metabolic actions by speeding up enzymatic reaction. So a little bit of alcohol is good for the health because it is going to stimulate enzymatic action, and that enzymatic action is required to induce metabolic actions of the body, and you feel like if you are metabolically active, you feel like energetic. But that is the medical and the judicious use of alcohol, and that is the logic behind the most of the medicines are alcoholic in nature. The most of the medicines are alcoholic in nature. Fine. So that make a sense. This amount of alcohol is required. But listen, you are talking about, Jack, you are talking about why there is a recommendation that the taking alcohol once in a while is good for the health. Once in a while good for the health means here the concentration of alcohol must be in the little amount. Yes? Fine. And even if you are going to take every day 10 to 15 to 20 ml every day, it is not going to affect you negatively. That is the medical recommendation. Fine. But here, as per the question, you are not supposed to take alcohol for 29 days, and you are going to take a complete bottle of the alcohol once in a month, and then you feel like, I was told by sir, alcohol intake once in a month is good for the health. So that is not good for the health, right? Because you are going to consume too much of alcohol in one shot, and this is going to create negative impact on your vital body parts. So this practice is malified practice, and it is going to affect you, right? So little amount of alcohol either one day or every day, right? This medical use of this alcohol is going to facilitate your enzymatic activities and the metabolic activities, right? But even the consumption of more alcohol is not good for the health because it is going to affect your vital body part. Fine. So that is the difference between the medical uses of the alcohol and the people they are taking alcohol to that extent. Means that is the judicious and the non-judicious use of the alcohol. अरे मैं ऐसा कुछ नहीं कह रहा हूँ यार, डेली 20 to 30 ml. I don't want to. पूरे क्लास में he is not able to get even a single statement right. Rather he has simply picked, Jitin has simply picked only one statement out of the 1 hour and 30-minute class, and that statement is what he will go for the 20 to 30 ml of alcohol per day. यही समझ में आया, बाकी से कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आया. Yeah, I am not suggesting, I am just telling you, Manish. Water is still mixed with the alcohol intake is that water got filtered by the body. Obviously, whatever the water we are going to have with alcohol, this will be filtered by body. Yeah, requesting to everyone, I am not suggesting, I am not recommending, I am just telling you the medical aspect of the alcohol intake, right? I am not hurting anyone's sentiment. ठीक है? वैसे भी alcohol intake is injurious to health. चलिए आइए प्लीज. अभी तक सब सोए पड़े थे. जैसे ही अल्कोहल की बात होने लगे, everyone is become active now. Everyone is, so many questions are streaming. On a lighter note, yes, Bhalla is saying that everyone became active on the topic of alcohol. Nikhil is saying that the सावन के अंधे को हरा हरा सब दिखाई देता है. ठीक, on a lighter note. Okay, fine. So please come to the main part of the discussion. ठीक है, हो गया, enough. So here, see what happened. Your blood has nitrogenous impurities. This blood has nitrogenous impurities and it is filtered through kidney. And here the unit of kidney is nephron. The unit of kidney is nephron. And once the blood is filtered through the kidney, so here urine comes outside while purified blood will move. Fine. And this urine is what? It's a nitrogenous waste material. Yes. As a parent, we have to be anti-alcohol, right? Because we have to promote people to get rid of it. Yes, definitely. Yes, I am stand with the sewage. After being an IS officer, yes, I stand with sewage. We must be anti-alcohol in nature. चलो ठीक है, आ जाओ. So this blood is purified through the kidney. Kidney has a unit like nephron, and then this urine passes, and then purified blood will move further. So here, when we talk about the urine, this urine, the intensity of the passing of the urine is what? We are passing 1 to 1.5 liter of urine per day. This is urine discharging capacity. This is the urine discharging capacity per day. We are passing this urine 1 to 1.5 liter per day. Someone was asked, there are so many people, they ask my WhatsApp number. So I am just mentioning my WhatsApp number once again. Though I shared my WhatsApp number in the first class, but even I am sharing my WhatsApp number. On this page I am mentioning here. Fine. So see, when we talk about this urine, we need to discuss about this urine little bit more. Yeah. Blood is, see, listen, Shreya, we have different approaches of the blood purification. When we talk about the gaseous purification of the blood, so the gaseous purification of the blood is done through the lungs. But when we talk about the liquid purification of the blood, means when the blood has carbon dioxide as impurity, so this carbon dioxide is filtered by lung. But when this blood has nitrogenous impurities in the liquid form, so this is filtered by kidney and it comes outside in the form of the urine through kidney. Fine. So this urine has, see, this urine means, see, this urine has 96% of the water, 2.5 5% of organic substance and 1.5% of inorganic solute. The pH varies from 4.8 to 7.5. Normal pH of the urine is 6.8. Fine. Certain substances like the tea, coffee, alcohol increases urine output as a diuretic. Fine. And see, this is 1 to 1.8 liter. This is the daily discharge capacity, which is done through the kidney. Fine. So this question was asked earlier. The chemical composition of the urine is like this. The average pH of the urine is 6.8. Then tea and coffee and alcohols are diuretic in nature. This is the last class of life science. This class onwards, you are going to discuss the rest of the topic of the science and technology, like nanotechnology, space technology, nuclear sector technology, right? Then all and all. Fine. So see here, and when the kidney is unable to filter this, when the kidney is failed, kidney is unable to filter. In that case, we should go for artificial kidney. Means hemodialysis. Yes, drinking more water helps kidney in purification. Yeah, definitely. Artificial kidney is the hemodialysis. That is the machine-based filtration. Machine-based blood filtration. Machine-based blood filtration. Machine-based blood filtration. Yeah, I will take few more classes. Yeah. Means nanotechnology I am supposed to have, health issues I am supposed to have. You are getting scheduled properly. Don't bother. Right? So this is what here, see here, the various issues related to the oxytocin we have done ADH. Yeah, Mamta, sir, on one kidney person can survive. I can never understood this. Could you please explain? See what happened. Now, see, kidney is the organ of filtration. Fine. And now we have two kidneys. So see what happened. Whatever we are going to have, means whatever the liquid we are going to have, these liquids are followed by both kidneys. Means ultimately that filtration is going to be done through both kidneys. It's a 50-50% of the work division, especially for the filtration of the kidney. So it is equally pressurized. Means see, it is not going to affect any kidney to that extent. It's a nature. But even one kidney is not workable, or one kidney is damaged, or even someone is transplanted with one kidney. In that case, the person could survive naturally, easily. In that case, he or she has to maintain a restricted lifestyle, means we are supposed to take water only up to the threshold limit, because ultimately we have, see, naturally if we have one kidney, means biologically since birth we have one kidney, it means somewhere technically, we have developed biological adaptation. But see what happened till the certain stage of the life. If both kidneys are going to be damaged, or even one kidney is going to be damaged, in that case either a person is going to have a one kidney as a survivor, or even one kidney as a result of transplantation. So that filtration is done through the blood filtration. Is the blood filtration will followed by one kidney, and the one kidney is going to perform the action of both kidneys earlier. Fine. So here we need to lead a restricted lifestyle, means the liquid inflow will be always less, means the threshold limit of the liquid we are supposed to have, because we are not supposed to pressurize that kidney to that extent. Rather, we need to maintain the smoothing of the kidney. So the point is that we are going to be survive like a normal life is. Are you getting my exception? Are you getting my exception? क्या नेटवर्क की तुमको क्या यहाँ, लेकिन यहाँ एक मिनट रुको, रिक्वेस्ट भेजो। स्टार्ट एक मिनट। Network pause. Fine. Okay, right. This third is the growth hormone. Growth hormone, ACTH, TSH. Fine, okay. Don't bother. So this third is the growth hormone. See, if I come to this growth hormone, see here. See, this third is growth hormone. See here. This is the growth hormone, human growth hormone, that is called as the HGH, and the same is called as the somatotropic hormone, STH or HGH, or growth hormone, and it is responsible for the growth of long bones, muscles and the viscera. Means the entire process of growth and development. The entire process of growth and development. The entire process of growth and development is the action of HGH, that is the human growth hormone, and the too much of HGH causes gigantism. Clear? Like the best example, Khali the Great is the best example of the gigantism, while the lack of growth hormone causes dwarfism. This is the over-secretion and the under-secretion effect. Over-secretion and the under-secretion effect. Over-secretion and under-secretion effect. Yeah, it was it lasts 5 minutes. It shows offline. Yeah, it was the network was declined from the service provider side. I was also. Don't try to lose yourself because we are helpless. The action of adrenal gland. It stimulates the action of adrenal gland to secrete its hormone. To secrete its hormone. Fine. So this was the third number and this was the fourth number. This is mentioned here. Adrenocorticotropic hormone that stimulate the adrenal gland to secrete its hormone. And let me come to the previous slide. See here. Fine. So this here, this ACTH. Let me take 1, 2, 3, 4 here at this point here, so that you feel connected here onwards. This pituitary gland. ACTH is left, TSH is left, LH is left, and FSH left. So we have this elaborated the name of this ACTH, and this ACTH, see here, this ACTH, it controls the action of adrenal gland. It controls the action of adrenal gland. Yes, and adrenal gland is what? It's a gland of emergency. It's a gland of emergency. Fine, it is gland of emergency. Fine, and you see here, this is the elaboration of what we have done. This adrenal gland, it releases epinephrine. Epinephrine. The same epinephrine is also known as adrenaline. Both are same, which helps the body to deal in the stress conditions. Means whenever you are in the state of fear, fight, and the flight conditions, you are controlled by this adrenaline, which is the secretion of this adrenal gland. That's why this gland is called the gland of emergency, and this gland itself is controlled by the ACTH of pituitary gland. So that's why this pituitary gland is called as what? It's a master's gland.